Back in the day when people used to tell me, those cheesy phrases that were, I just didn't believe them at the time. And as I get older, I find there's a lot of truth to what they were telling me. It just didn't seem real at the time because of my life around what they were telling me. People used to tell me nothing's impossible and you should never give up hope. And, if you just try hard enough and you keep working and you keep at things will eventually work out. And I was like, man, you have no idea. You have no idea where I'm at. You have no idea just how hopeless and how impossible my whole life seems right now. You guys see in every single video, I keep it there as a reminder. I keep it on my phone screen. It's a point of reference for me. That's where I come from. That is where I lost hope for a while, and it seemed impossible to find my way out of that and into the life that I have now. That never would have envisioned this in a million years. I would never would have thought I'd be talking to you about making it out of there. And this week was just yet another reminder of the power of believing those things and how true those things are. And it was very personal to me, maybe even more so than my own situation, because now I was on the other side of it and able to be, the person that helped in this situation, the person I needed back in those days, the person I needed in my life to help me break my cycle. This week was very emotional for me. This week I was able to essentially watch goal number one be toppled here for a person that's very, very near and dear to me in my life. He's 18 now, and he's given me permission to tell you guys a little bit about what's going on. He was here with us, placed with us for a while, and some of you met him, some of you got to know him, and you knew what kind of personality he was. He's an electric personality, just an awesome dude. And I met him and talked with him, and it was very ironic and very almost eerie when we were talking about how similar our stories were, he and I. And it really connected with me because I instantly was hearing myself talk as he talked, and it was so strong to me, even down to the notion of having essentially like one foot in the sports world, and everybody sees you for that and thinks that you are this perfect person who just is awesome at sports, and that's your whole identity, and you get all this attention and people just love you for that. But then on the other side, there's this really dark pull of all kinds of bad influences, people, unfortunately gangs and things that can also drag you. And there was just this tear in him and in me when I was his age. And that's how we connected, is that story. Now, I'll tell you, he also, when he was here, it didn't go well for him because he just was not, he didn't come from a world where people are able to understand. He comes from a world of, it's just different communication, and he was aggressive while he was here because that's what you do in his neighborhood, and that's how you show yourself. That's how you recognize, or you get recognition, and that's how you establish yourself. And so as part of my job, I had to do one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, and basically kick him out of our home, this place, and send him to jail. And he spent some time in jail, and I stayed connected with him through that. We video chat. My production value is really bad, guys, but that's Braxton, and he's an amazing person. Braxton stayed in jail for a while and then was eventually released onto house arrest, and he's still on house arrest for another week until he gets sentenced. But one of the things that was very important for him, because he has goals, and he was in jail for a while, and seemingly his situation was impossible. He didn't give up hope. He stayed on it. He stayed focused. He worked and was sent home on January, I think it was 17th or 19th. And I went down to see him and visit him, and to get an idea of his environment, and I spent some time there and just, revisited a few times. And one of the times I went, you guys, if you were here last summer, Miss Jolynn was thoughtful enough to make birthday gifts for me, and some of you guys painted rocks with a word on there that you thought of when you thought of me, and Braxton's, this was his. When I visited him for the first time, I gave him this rock. I gave him a couple other things too. We have matching pictures in his room in my office about one of my favorite quotes, which is, "The quality of your thoughts will determine the happiness of your life." But I also gave him this, and I said, I don't want this back until you graduate high school. That's goal number 1. I gave him a couple other things for goals number 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. And on Tuesday night, you guys,
Braxton Lamar Tyndall.
Again, production value is bad. That's my guy. It's my guy walking across the stage. It's my guy graduating and achieving something that we honestly did not think was possible. Man, it's bad. I wish you guys could see it better. But anyway, Brax and I got to celebrate. And goal number 1 is down. 4 months ago, he was in jail, and we didn't know when he was getting out. Tuesday night, he graduated high school. Tuesday night, he brought this back for me, and he gave it to me. And he told me, I'm going to keep breaking the cycle. And that's what I talk to you guys about all the time, is break that cycle, man. It is possible, and I know it seems hopeless. So often it seems hopeless, like there's nothing moving in your life, there's nothing going. That's how I felt when I was your age. That's how Braxton felt. And that's probably how a lot of you feel who are watching this, but I gotta tell you, there it is, right? And if he can do it, if I can do it, you can do it. You can break that cycle no matter how hopeless your situation seems. I wish I had a more cheery message, but it is. I'm so happy, you guys. I'm so happy. And this week I got to watch a lot of you make major shifts in the way you think. I got to watch some of you fall on your face and not literally, but make mistakes that landed you in situations that it seems like you took a few steps backwards. It's okay. It's not over. It's not impossible. Do not give up hope. I'm telling you, I'm showing you, I'm living it. The cycle can be broken, and you can make it out of this seemingly never-ending series of events that you think will never change. It will change, but it takes you. You guys see this sometimes when I move, and I think it's backwards for you, but that quote I keep up there to remind you guys and myself, nothing works unless you do. Nothing. Nothing works unless you do. Too many of us were raised in families or in environments where nobody wanted to work for anything. And I'm not talking about going to work to get a paycheck. I'm talking about working on themselves, doing the very, very difficult work to change your mindset. Braxton and I end every single text conversation with 2 things: champion mindset, break the cycle. Every single conversation. I want you guys to have a champion mindset and break that cycle. Nothing works unless you do. I know you guys are young. I know it's hard for you to start taking ownership because around you and where you come from, there were people that were supposed to take care of things for you. And unfortunately, at a young age, you've had to realize that some of those people have failed you. I had to come to that point, and it took me way, way too long in life. I hope for you, even though it's hard and even though it is one of the worst things to realize that, man, I thought, I had people that were going to take care of me, love me, nurture me, teach me things, and guide me through life. And now I don't have those people. It's still not over for you because you can take little pieces from everybody you've met along the way, good pieces from all the men and women and individuals in your life, and you can make the person that you want to be. It doesn't have to be a traditional mom and dad. It doesn't have to be a family as most people describe it. I didn't have that. Braxton didn't have that. A lot of you don't have that. But that does not mean your situation is doomed and that cycle is already formed for you. Break it. Break it. Take advantage of the people that are telling you they want to help you. Take advantage of the people that are showing you what they have done and where they've been. Listen to those stories. I wish I would have. I wish I would have broke it earlier, but I'm here now. And every night that I spent sitting in this alleyway and just, asking myself, whether it was out loud or whether in my head, why me? This is why me. Braxton's why me. You guys are why me. I can tell you now that it's not impossible, and I can tell you now that you have the power to break that cycle. That's why me. I didn't realize it then, but I do now. You don't realize it now, but you will. That's why you. You're going through it now so you can break cycles for other people and you can make cycles for the rest of your life. You almost had me. You almost had me crying. I love you guys. Cycle breakers, baby.